While the world mourns the loss of the Queen of Soul today, the Queen of Pop is marking a major milestone. All right, this is hard to believe, but the Material Girl herself turns 60 today. With a career that spanned more than 3 decades, Madonna has broken records and solidified herself as a pop culture icon. Her first album hit the shelves back in 1983, and she has sold, get this, over 30 million records, performed on 10 concert tours. The singer, actor, and humanitarian holds the Guinness World Record for best-selling female recording artist of all time. Melena Ryzik is a culture reporter for the New York Times. The newspaper marks the Material Girl's milestone today, and we're going to get to that in a minute. But first, Melena, with the death of Aretha Franklin, we really are noting 2 musical legends today who are stylistically incredibly different, but each one really made their own impact on culture, didn't they?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a vast gulf between them as artists in some ways, and in other ways, not so much. They're both from Michigan. Aretha, of course, is from Detroit. Madonna grew up in a Detroit suburb. They were raised, steeped in religion. And I think, there are some similarities. I think it's a good day today to celebrate and think about longevity in terms of reinvention. Aretha was amazing at reinventing her musical style and mastering so many different kinds of genres, soul, R&B, gospel. And Madonna was a cultural reinventor. She changed the way we look at certain cultures, even as she was changing them herself. And they had a certain power in knowing their own self-worth, which I think is especially notable for female artists.
I've been poring over the list that the New York Times put together today and published the 60 times Madonna changed our culture. Some of them are fashion. She made innerwear, outerwear. She was the first great identity artist. It's really a reminder to the influence that she's had. What are the most important ways you think that she has influenced culture?
I think you hit upon a couple of them. I mean, it is in a way about appearance, especially for a female artist. She really was a master of being in charge of her own look and changing her style to go with the times, to predate what we were all going to be looking at and thinking about and doing years from now. And that's not something was that common especially for female artists when she was coming up. She also was very frank. It was not at all common for especially a pop star to talk about having had abortions, to be as sexually forthright as she was and continues to be. And I think one of the things that's really notable about her is that she continues to be all of those things now, even into her 60th year.
Really setting a new example for what women and artists can do later in life, right?
Absolutely. I mean, we haven't really seen a female pop artist of Madonna's caliber doing the things that she's doing at her age. And there are some people who kind of want to shy away from it, who say this is not right, she shouldn't be behaving this way, she shouldn't be, twerking on national television. But Madonna is not going to stop just because someone tells her to.
Her career hasn't been without controversies, though. Why do you think that Madonna was able to ride through some of that criticism, some of that bad press? Others might not have made it through.
I think she is a very savvy self-promoter. I mean, that's been a part of her game from the very beginning. And she has taken what some people might have, fallen down on, the challenges and the hurdles and the controversies, and made them into her strengths. When Like a Prayer debuted and it was caused this incredible commotion for the way that she portrayed religion, she was forthright about her own religious upbringing and the references that she had and why she wanted to make that video and make those choices artistically. She didn't shy away from it at all, and I think she's always been that way. She's always owned it, and that's why she's managed to stay the game. Looking
forward in the next couple of decades, do you think that Madonna still has the power to leap ahead and influence culture?
I think that she you know, the music industry is in such a different place now than it was, you know, even 5 or 10 years ago. So I think that she has to continually reinvent herself and change the game and do different things, keep a fresh focus. But I think one of the things she's always excelled at is keeping smart, talented, you know, under the radar people around her. So, you know, looking at that, and you know, I would bet on Madonna to figure out a way to keep herself relevant.
We've got to leave it there. Melena Ryzik of the New York Times joining me from their studio.